1, 2, beans and chips. Okay, now I can hear you. Welcome to Global Game Jam 2024 Prep Week. I'm just going to check my audio levels. If you can hear me, please let me know if my audio is working because I've had issues, been having issues. Hi. Got some people turning up in chat. Private chat, hear it now, says Tim. Okay, so welcome to Global Game Jam 2024 Prep Week. This is the session for Big Bang, which is a game platform that we've been working on for a while, trying to make a good thing to let people make good games. And my name is Robert Anderberg. I was originally like the programmer and person who did a bunch of stuff on this project, and now I do some programming occasionally, but I mostly do running the company and all the rest of that stuff. I'm also known as Bobby D in the Big Bang community. Tim is telling me that you didn't hear me initially, which is fine. It's all fine. Thank you. So welcome everybody. We're going to be talking about this thing that we've built called Big Bang that lets you make games in a web browser with your friends. You write code in TypeScript. You can make objects in our built-in tools. You don't need anything else to make a game. And it's a fun choice for making a game jam game because everything is included. There's thousands of objects that other people have made. And I'm just going to be running through some stuff. Yeah. Are those plants foliage models made in voxels? Yes, they are. And so one of the fun things about this thing we've made called Big Bang is that the editor is built in. And we're just going to get rid of these things. Global Game Jam is coming up. What? Okay, I'm being silly. I'll dismiss these. Okay, are those other Gecko, the dev says, those plants foliage made in voxels, they look nice. Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. One thing about this thing that we've made is that the editor can be opened for things that you have made or have access to edit. The editor can be opened instantly, so there's no open your project in an editor, do stuff. So if you're in there looking at something and you want to inspect something, we can just jump over to it. So let's check out these foliage models. This is called Foliage Planter 1, and then here we can just hit this button. We can just see what it looks like. There you go. So that lets us jump directly to the piece of foliage. It's made by this person called Voxelius down here, we can see. And tells you when it was created. It's got some hearts. We can leave a nice comment. I'll leave your comment for them. I'll say, Gecko, the dev, says, these look nice. Look nice. If I could spell, Gecko, there you go. That's better. And so, everything that you see that I'm going to be showing you today has been built just using the tools here, right? So what I could do is I could hit this button at the top to remix this, make our own version of it. I'll just prefix anything that's going to happen next with the fact that I am not an artist, so I will not be doing anything that is very impressive. But we could pick a different color. Let's make some alien foliage, and then we can just start making it more alien like this. Check this out. I'm sure the artists who work on our team will be very impressed with my skills. Look at this, a little bit of alien, not too alien. And then what we can do is we can save this. Let's save it. Boom. And then let's head back to here in the game editor, and we could just pick this and replace it with the one that we just made. So I could just change this to my alien foliage now. I could pick all of the foliage and replace it in a wanna. We've got a little search tool up here, so we can search for foliage, cliff foliage, all the different kinds of foliage. What's the kind of foliage? Floating rock foliage, foliage plant. Foliage plant. Fascinating. Look at all of this foliage. And then we can change all of the foliage to our crazy alien foliage. And now, look, it looks much worse. I made it much worse. And of course, you can undo everything. So if you get too excited, go all the way back to the start. Everything's fine. There you go. So there's a bunch of games on this platform, and I think sometimes when people come and look at it, they think, oh, well, these are like custom games, and then there's things that you can make yourself, but those two things are different. In fact, those two things are exactly the same. We don't build anything that isn't built using these tools. And so I can click on this character and I can see all of the scripts that affect how the character works. I can find the character movement script. And then all of this stuff is written in TypeScript. Wow, this screen's a little bit small, but I can deal with it. Yeah, so all of this code is written in TypeScript. We've got Visual Studio Code embedded right here. So when you're writing things, the whole API is auto-completable. It's not my script, but I can remix it, make my own version, and it'll say, do you want to update everything to use your new one? And I'll say, sure. Then I can go down here where I was before, say this dot entity dot name. Let's print it out. Let's print out the entity name, because maybe we don't know what we're called. We'll do that in tick. Where's the tick method? Let's find it. Post-collision tick. And then let's go and look in the console. And we can see that it's called player. How exciting. So yeah, it's really easy to change code. The code changes on the fly as you're running the game. You can stop the game and edit things, obviously. But also you can edit while it's running. And then the other thing that you can do is you can invite other people in to edit with you or to play the game. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this link in the chat. Maybe it'll go through and you people will be able to click it. And if you do, then you should appear beside me here in the game. So I think the link should be in the stream now. And let's see if anybody turns up. Waiting. Aha, look. A new challenger enters. So somebody just clicked the link, they jumped in. They're saying, I don't really know how to interpret that. Little devil horns type action going on. And then, yeah, we can start to build something. So we've got some things here already. I've got a car that we can jump into and drive around. That you friends can jump into as well. But I thought what we'd do is build a little bit of parkour because it's easy. It's a simple game type and it's easy to understand on stream. So I'm going to start by just grabbing this pillar. And then, you know, by default, you're looking in the editor from the player camera, but we've got a bunch of other cameras too. So I'm going to just zoom out and get more of a kind of traditional editor look. And so, yeah, I can just start cloning out these pillars like this, making myself a little parkour course. We've got some kind of pre-made things that we call templates. So you can kind of put those on here and that will let people kind of bounce up to a higher level. So you can see that they can bounce pretty high. You can click this thing and look at its properties and see how you want people to bounce down here. Impulse. We're being very technical here. We're going to apply an impulse to you. But you can change that number. But I like it like it is, so I'm going to keep it. And then we're going to bounce up here. So let's see. Maybe this teddy bear can. It's kind of dark. I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it brighter, just for the stream, because I think it's too dark for the stream. There we go. And change the lighting. There you go. Look, you can get straight up there. And then I think what we should be doing today is trying to build ourselves some kind of cloud place where we can go and just hang out. Get away from all of the problems of the modern world. So maybe we need to go higher. I'm going to put another trampoline on here. Oh dear. Bradley's going to have to start again. People are modifying the game themselves. Yeah, so anybody who's in this link that you send, this edit link, can modify the game. Anyone who has a character. Hey TS. TS says hello. Lucaris says new plant species discovered. Yeah, we did that earlier. So all of this stuff in the templates tab down here, they're all kind of prefabs, pre-made things, silly fun. And but each of them, you know, you can look at and you can see how they were implemented. So we can look at the trampoline, we can see its script, and we can go and like make our own version of its script, or remix that, make our own version. So yeah, I'm gonna put another platform up here, even higher. And I think it's possible to get up. So I can go and test this myself, right? I don't need to wait for other people to test it. I'm going to jump up. Orca and who else is in here? Hey Orca, hey Quirt6589, Bradley Control Z's in here, a guest is in here. Guests can't edit right now. I think we'll probably change that in the future, or like we'll just make it so that you can set permissions so people can do that. Okay, so we've got these two jump pads. This one doesn't quite let me get high enough, so let me just edit this while I'm here. So I can hit edit, click on this pad, and it's set to 800. Let's set it to 1,000, see if that works. There you go. Jump back in, literally. If anyone has any questions whilst we are messing about in here. Whoa, I've really made these tight jumps. It's very difficult. If anyone has questions about building, you know, maybe using that jump is too far. Maybe building for Global Game Jam using .BigBang. Just fire them in the chat, and I will try to diligently pay attention to them. Where are we? I'll grab these and move them a bit further back because it was just too far. Okay, try again. Let's test. Doink. We're actually just adding a play from here tool. We haven't really needed it so far. Okay, that 1,000 impulse is working great. That's still a very tight jump there. In fact, these are still very tight. Oh, nope. Come on. Got to make this jump. Okay, that's great. I'm going to make this one like super boosted, and then we'll have a little place to hang up at the top. Somebody says exclamation mark code. I don't know whether that's to do with somebody else's channel, but I can post the link again for people who haven't been here for a while. Here's the link. Okay, so I'm going to make this jump pad right in front of us super boosted. I'm going to jump back to the player perspective. This one's going to be maybe like, I don't know, 2,000. Okay. And then right at the top of that, oh, look at that. Look at that. I already did it. I'm a genius. Do you think I can make that jump from here? Maybe. Oh, no. No way. I made it back, though. That's okay. Okay, so we either need to make this boost higher, or we need to pull that platform down. I'm going to pull the platform down. The guest is here. Welcome. I'm just going to send some emojis. These emojis, again, are just built using the tools, the script in the game. It's not a platformy thing. Okay, so we're going to go up and move this little fella down a little bit because I think it's just too high. Okay, so back to the player camera. Can we make it this time? No, still no. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so we're going to jump back. I'm going to move it slightly further this way, I think, and then down. Okay, final attempt. Does this rocket, do you have to activate this rocket? Yes. Okay. I will be playing on my phone. It says TS. Well, that's a good point. So anything that you build on .BigBang runs in pretty much any browser. You can install .BigBang as like a progressive web application. That gives it its own window and makes it a little bit easier to like have an icon on your desktop. But yeah, it will run on phones, tablets, runs on the Steam Deck really nicely. So yeah, it's once you've built something, you don't need to make changes for a specific platform. If you use the default input APIs, then it will work across all platforms without any changes. I'm going to try and swap this to my so you can hear the sound, because the game sound isn't coming through because of a problem with the streaming setup. It's a little bit of a bummer. Okay, anyway, I'm going to grab a platform. I need to find something nice and big. Maybe we'll put some clouds here already. So down here you can search everything that anyone's ever made and shared in .Big Bang. This says top snow cloud. I don't know, that looks pretty good. Let's check this out. You may think all of this is pre-prepared. You'd be wrong. I really didn't do very much planning at all, which might... Long Cirrusile, yeah, okay, so that's Funky Pants making some stuff. Peeps Clouds. I think these are all background objects. I'm going to keep... Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Someone's found a nice big chunky cloud platform down there, and they're adding it. But I'm going to keep this platform like this. I'm going to build out a little place to sit and hang out. Somebody is standing on top of the platform while we are working. It's Kurt 6589. So that's okay though. We can move this while they're standing on it. Unfortunately, we're actually scaling them at the same time, so I'm gonna throw them off. I'm gonna throw them off this cloud. Get off the cloud. It's my cloud for now. You're not invited. Just not yet. Not yet. Okay. So let me just make myself a little bit more space. I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this window to give myself a little bit more space, like a pro. Here we go. Okay. So let's go and have a look from the player perspective, what it looks like. I don't want to make this a challenge right here. What I want to do is just make it super simple. So once we're up here, I'm just going to make it dead easy for them to step onto it. I don't want it to be some kind of crazy challenge. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm going to move this down a little bit. Okay. And who made this cloud? I was going to name check him. Cloud, Top Snow Cloud by Block Guy. This is by Block Guy, this thing. Okay, who is here? Someone else is here on the stream, I can't see. It is. They don't have their name tag, so let's try and find out. Oh, it's Orca. Okay, so let's see what happens next. It's very... People are very unhelpfully adding scripts. I don't think we should... If we're going to make this spin, we need to make it spin really slow. 0.1. 0.1. I think that's too fast. I think making it spin is adding complication. Orca. It's very. I think the fact that I boosted the brightness has made it all a bit too bright now. Let's see what happens if we go back. There's no going back. Intensity down. Oh, look at this. Yeah. That's so much better. Now we can see what's happening. Okay, so we built ourselves a parkour course all the way up. It's got frozen down there. Somebody's adding some frozenness, but I think it's probably causing people to spawn inside of it. So let's help them out. It's all getting slightly crazy. They've moved it themselves. Okay. Let's go back up. Everyone's getting jammed in the ground. Unfortunately, we can help them. Look, save them from purgatory. Who is editing? Okay. Let's try and get this whole thing under control. Quote 6589. Let's move this ground down, because what we're doing is we're making the spawn points broken. It's like a saboteur. They're like a stream sabotager. Saboteur. Stream saboteur. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's do that. Okay. if you want it there, let's agree. Let's agree. It's not gonna work. We're not gonna agree. Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make an executive decision. It's gone. It's gone. You can bring it back if you want to. Hey, look. Welcome, Juan. I'm gonna jump back up to our cloud land, and I'm gonna attempt to continue to make it whilst being sabotaged by people with jetpacks. Other people, these jumps are too difficult. Here we go. Whoop. What have we done since last year? Let's talk about that. I'm going to take the spin off. I think it's a script too far. I'm going to move this over here so we can easily get onto it. Then what I want people to do, if you can hear me, I want people to come up and build a little cafe up here. So rather than destroying my spawn points, somebody's got a jetpack already. That is one way up here, right? I remember this game. Wow, it's been so long. Well, thank you so much. It has been so long. We've been working on stuff. What have we been adding? Well, since last time around, we added 8,000 sounds. So if you want to pick a sound, you've now got 8,000 things that you can listen to here. Now, of course, as I said before, my sound isn't working properly at the moment. So I'm going to need to... I'll work on that whilst we're building this cafe. But we've got 80,000 sounds. And then before Global Game Jam, I do believe we're going to have sound upload for you. So you can come and upload your own sounds, music, sound effects. That's going to be super cool. So yeah, let's see if we can add some templates. See if we can add a little cafe up here. That's what I'm looking for. I got somebody up here who's going to help. Summer Sky is going to help out. I know it for a fact. So yeah, I'm going to go and quickly look at my sound. Let's see if I can make it work. But who really knows? Audio. Yeah. Aha. Desktop audio. So, we're starting the cafe. It's going to be such a beautiful place. And how does every cafe start? It starts with a single chair. We all know this. Maybe what we need is a slightly flatter surface, though, for a cafe. Who knows? Let's... a chair, of course. It starts with a chair. Okay, we're going to look in here in our template, see if we can find anything. Is there a chair? There must be. There's definitely a way to sit down. I've seen that before. I was pretty sure there was a chair in here. What? Maybe not. Maybe that's in the other templates. I've been defeated. Well, we have a chair here. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see. So I think maybe to make this chair work, to sit on it, we need to stop start. So let's just do that. I'm going to press the stop button and the start button. Everyone's back to the beginning. Like nothing happened. It's like Groundhog Day. You ever making a game and you come back the next day and you feel like the previous day didn't happen? Did that ever happen to you? It's happened to me before. Maria says, hello, dude, from Colombia. Hello from Colombia. I've heard it's a beautiful place. I have some friends. Can I sit now? Woohoo! Okay, I feel like I should be the person who can serve people some tasty snacks in the cafe, right? We've got this beautiful counter. I need to make it slightly bigger. There you go. So now, okay. Hey, hey, Quirt, what would you like to drink? Oh, look, there's an espresso machine that's turned up. What would you like to drink today? Yeah, I normally stand on the counter in my cafe. That's how we do it where I'm from. Juan, what would you like to drink? Anyone? Espresso. You could have, you know, a refreshing strawberry juice, a smoothie. I'm still in my winter outfit here. This outfit's called Snow Fear. Okay, let's start getting these chairs sorted out. Okay, so we're going to need a few of these. There you go. One's sitting down. I'm going to need a table as well, though, right? I think you need a table when you're... maybe we should have a... maybe we should have a fire up here. Do you think we should have a fire on the cloud? I feel like we should. That'll make it cozy, don't you think? Don't stand in the fire. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a table. Some nice table. People sending smoke signals using the fire. What tables have we got? Indoor wood table by Zlinkus. Wood table by Block Guy. Well, the cloud was by Block Guy, right? So it's pretty good. Roman table, normal tables. What kind of table do we need? A fancy table or a normal table? I feel like a cafe in the clouds would have a fancy table. Oh, that wasn't the one I wanted. This was not the table I was looking for. It was this other one. This chimeric arts thing. Where was it? This one, coffee table. Oh, this is coffee table. Well, if it's a coffee table. Yeah, so let's make it like one of those like cool places people hang out. It looks kind of like somebody's living room. We'll get more chairs going. Oop. There you go. I feel like we need to make a bit more space here. Yeah, move these chairs back a little bit. I think this whole set, maybe this cloud piece here is a bit too cloudy. I think that's a bit too close to the table as well. Is the chair like disappearing when they're sitting in it? I don't understand what's happening. Okay, let's move it back a bit. And we're going to clone some other stuff and just flip it around. Boop. Yeah, this whole set of stuff needs to move. Get the chair, not the person. Let's move let's move everybody around. There you go. It can be floating, right? I mean, we're in a cloud, so why would we not do that? Okay. We need to, yeah, look at this wall, perfect. And then maybe we just start serving drinks, right? I feel like I did see somebody doing some coffee here, or a mug or something. There's definitely a mug in voxel objects. Let's go and look there. Coffee. No, coffee. Coffee machine. Coffee table. Coffee mug by President Cheese. Oh, there's multiple coffee mugs. White coffee mug. That's got a design on it. This looks like a kind of... Well, let's go for sustainable mugs, do we think? I think we should go for... Instead of like a disposable mug, let's go for a sustainable one. Because, you know, you don't need a new mug every time. You don't need a new cup every time you get some coffee. Check it out. Okay. And I get people's coffees. Coffees for everybody. Here we go. Engine works with WebSockets. Yeah, Yeah, so the networking uses WebSockets. We have looked at WebRTC, which is like a peer-to-peer method. I think we would certainly reduce latency doing that. This is a question from one in the chat. But yeah, WebSockets work well for us. They're supported everywhere. And, we've spent a lot of time making sure that it doesn't affect the experience for people, so things feel nice and good. Can you put a fire on a cloud? Is that recommended? I think perhaps it's what's going on up here? Summer Sky is building something quite radical. Maybe it's like a menu. I feel like this cloud needs to be slightly more opaque, slightly less opaque. Maybe it's going to look too crazy if I change it. Whoop. I think it's going to look slightly mad. What if we do this? Oh, that takes all the cool stuff off. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it like it is. The clouds in this world are very bright and white. Oh, WebRTC. I'm a Zergling. Ask me anything. It says, oh, WebRTC. Well, we don't actually use WebRTC, but we have done some experiments. WebRTC, could help us get lower latency for some networking. Right now, our network system has some latency in it, but in general, it doesn't really affect things. The frame rate is always good in small experiences. We're doing like 120 frames a second here. And we're sending like 26 kilobits. We're receiving 26 kilobits a second. It depends on what people are doing, right? What we send and receive, but kind of 20 messages a second. We're sending the head position of the characters. You see when the character is looking around here, there's a script which is sending that. And if we open the editor again, and I open the script editor, we've got a thing that shows us all of the network messages flying past. So these are all of the events that are happening, like in the internal event system, and then we can see all of the network messages coming in. So like taco cheese, this doesn't actually show you the normal transform messages because there's just a lot of that traffic and it's not very helpful to look at. But this is all of the network traffic coming from scripts themselves, and so you can see that a lot of this is people's head directions. Like that's a normal user script that's sending network messages across the network, and we can see that the originator of each of these is kind of sending it to me, sending it to their player locally, and then it's setting the head position from that. Setting whether they're jumping, setting some animation states, and setting their positions. So that's all coming along. Yeah, so what we're building is kind of like a sandbox where you can build with your friends, build stuff really quickly. And then if you go and look at the front page of .Big Bang, you can see that we have like pretty complete games on there with millions of views. So it is possible to build things that are a lot more in depth. Wait a minute. Let's see the menu. Menu is coffee free, tea free, whatever you like, also free. Okay. So if you want to just put your orders in, taco cheese. Wait a minute. I seem to have lost control of my own cafe now. Taco cheese and Angel 007 seem to be running the business, and I'm now. Oh, and wait a minute. Is there a tank? Is this a tank here? Is this what I'm seeing? A tank for sale? Well, I'd like 2 tanks, please, if that's what we're doing. What a fantastic object. I feel like we should it says TOG2. Can I jump? You know what? Can I jump out and back? Yeah, I can. Look, that's this thing here. What a fantastic object by Angel 007. I'm going to like it. I'm coming back. Whew. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff built by people in the community. there's like wizard juice in this cup or something. Look at the state of this. It's shooting wizard magic into the air. There's a whole bunch of stuff built by people in the community that you can use. This espresso machine. And then you can build your own stuff, obviously. Cups of what we need is a little bit of, don't we need a bit of steam coming out of this? Let's add some particles. Always fun. It's starting by being blue. Let's turn off the gravity on the particles. Turn off the gravity. Turn off the spread. We need to slow it all down. Here you go, look. It's getting almost good. Spread down. Don't need these particles to go everywhere. And then the end opacity and the start opacity down, so it's a bit more like steam. I think we need to slow it down even more. Initial velocity. And then we need to change the lifetime, right? Because no, particle lifetime, where is it? Here we go. There you go. And then at the end, it needs to be 0. Look at that. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Maybe we can make the start opacity. There you go. That's better. Look. Let's get a close-up on this amazing steam effect that we've built. We're going to press F. We're going to get on the orbit camera. Look at that. Steaming cup of coffee. Beautiful. Slightly coming out the side still, though. Let's put these down. There you go. Look at that. And then what we can do, which is a thing that we did since last Global Game Jam, is we can copy that and we can paste it on here. Right. Paste. There you go. So then we can select all of them, do the same thing. Let's copy the particle system, copy. And then we can paste, paste, copy. Here we go, paste is new. And now all the coffee is steaming. Very nice. That looks great. What if it's a tank of coffee? Yes, could be a tank of coffee. I think in America, wait a minute, what happened to our lovely cafe? Did something go wrong? Feel like something went wrong. Oh, there's an actual tank here. That seems a little extreme. What happened? Well, Summer Sky is no longer here, and the whole cafe seems to have disappeared or been reset. How suspicious. Interesting. That's weird, because this was looking great, and now it's kind of all falling apart. Let's go back into the editor, see if we can salvage it a little bit. Okay, F. What's happening? What are these things? These weren't here before. They're being edited by who? Who is editing them? We need to find out. It's a conspiracy. Somebody here. Let's find out. It's Summer Sky. What is even happening? Summer Sky has turned into a tiny fairy and is rebuilding the cafe from scratch. I suppose you've got to remodel once in a while, right? You can't just stagnate. Okay, let's review. So far, we've showed you a little bit about Big Bang, which is a game making platform where you can make games with your friends. A whole bunch of people joined. Oh, we started making a parkour course. A whole bunch of people joined in. Some of them brought tanks. Some of them brought jetpacks. Some of them are half killer whale, half human. We began to build this parkour course. out of prefab pieces that we call templates. And at the top of it, we started to build a cafe in the clouds. The cafe's been remodeled. You have to come back. Still free tea and coffee, though. That's very nice. That's nice to know. Okay, so yeah, I think that we had 1 hour to just do a kickoff and talk about Big Bang. I think it's a good choice for Global Game Jam games. They're super easy to make with friends. As we're showing, you can build stuff together really easily. Say that I want to take a chair or something in the world and add a script to it. That's really simple too. So we can just do that while we're sitting here. We'll find something that we had, like this chair. And I'm going to take the script off it that was on it. And then I'm going to add a script that I've made previously. This one's called Spin. Doesn't do anything particularly exciting. And now we've got a script running on this chair that's spinning it around. And I can edit this script just by hitting the edit button. And then when I'm doing that, this is changing live. So I can multiply the spin speed by 3, or I can negate it and it all just happens instantly. And then when you're happy with what you've done, you can save it and share it with 1 million people in the next 2 seconds, and that's it. We also have a very vibrant community of people playing Big Bang games, and after the Global Game Jam is finished, we're going to take all of the entrants that use Big Bang and put them on the front page for a whole bunch of people to see. So that's an added bonus. So it's as simple as that. Easy peasy. Don't save this for now. That's okay. Don't save this for now. That's okay. So yeah, I think that's about it. If anyone has any questions, they can put them in the chat. I could do a couple of little minutes of that, but I suspect that we need to get off the stream because somebody else is coming along. Yeah, so pretty relaxed, stream for you this year, with a cafe, a tank, an enormous tank, some free drinks, showing you how you can build stuff in Big Bang, and oh, we don't need to finish. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. I will watch the chat for anything, and then otherwise maybe what I'll do is just give a general tour of other stuff that we've built, so you can see stuff that looks more game-like, or things that like have more code or less dependent on the default behaviors. And I'll keep watching for questions as we do that. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to save this as a new game. There you go. So this has been forever immortalized in Big Bang history. This is what we've done today. And then I'm going to jump to the front page, and we'll just look at some other stuff. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of games that we've built here. We have the hub world. This actually just launched Friday, the new version of this. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here as well that shows the kind of things that you can build, and a whole bunch of people. So this is a bit bigger than what we were looking at there. You can see that we kind of have some mountains going on, something flying around at the top of the mountain. Looks like a huge octopus or something. I didn't see what that was. So yeah, this is a bit of a bigger area. We've got some vehicles that you can drive around on. And I think what I'm going to do next after we look at this is I'll go and look at some of the starting games, just to show you how, like, what you can do to get started. Some people over here going towards the lighthouse. Here you go. Let's get on this moving ferry with a bunch of people in like an old-timey car. They've got a worm as a pet. I promise I'll show you something that's more like game dev in a second. Here you go. We're going towards the lighthouse. It does feel wintry. I think it'll thaw out pretty soon though. Here's somebody. Here's a guest. You're on stream, guest. What are you doing? Pressing the button to launch the winter missiles. Okay, so to make a new game, we can just go to the home page. We can say build games. Then we get this selection of stuff. You can either choose an empty game or you can choose one of these pre-made kits that we have. I really like the FPS kit. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it that's very simple. We've also got this scripting examples and tips, which is great. And our original Intro to Magic is still there. So let's look at the scripting examples for a second. So this is a game where all of the kind of major features of the platform are described, like sending events. You can jump on this thing and shoot a rocket off into space. And then you can look at the code and see how they're done. So kind of every feature that we have, spawning stuff, spawning things from templates, which is what we were talking about before. Owner authoritative send message to be able to send network messages to different peers that are connected. Peer-to-peer stuff, so that's like, oh, I'm going to just send you a message and you will take it rather than it being server authoritative. Spatial audio, which you can't hear for the moment because my audio setup is broken. Particle systems that we looked at earlier. Transform updates, so just like how to move stuff around and make it bigger and smaller. I think if I stand on here, do I get bigger or smaller? No. Oh, no fun, no fun. What else do we have here? Networked entities and not networked entities. So you can tag things as networked and it will just magically network them. You don't need to do any work to make that happen. It's very simple to do some simple networked things. Yeah, these are the inputs showing you the standard buttons that we have. If you use the standard input actions that we defined in the API, you can get access to the keyboard and the gamepad and everything else. But if you use the standard input actions that we use, then we will make those work across gamepad, touchscreen, and the traditional keyboard setup. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We have some really nice random noise functions for building procedural worlds, and that's a really fun thing to do. It's kind of being shown here in a slightly weird way. Oh no, I can see what it's doing now. There you go. I think maybe even I wrote that in the first place, so it can't be too critical. We've got some, you can use voxel objects for your UI. That's a way to do that. And then you can put text on the UI in 2D instead of it always being to 3D. And then we're back to the start. So that's a super whistle-stop tour of kind of all the features. And then here on the right, you've got a way to page through them and just look at those things. Super simple. So yeah, if you want to get started and you're just like, oh, how do I do X? This is a good starting game to look at. And then the FPS, we can look at that very quickly. Yeah, so this is like a really simple, straightforward FPS example. All of these things are going like bizarrely slowly right now. But yeah, so this is really straightforward. If you want to make a game that's like a walking simulator, you know, you can just take the guns out and then you have a good kind of FPS controller model set up there. Really straightforward. It's got some fun shoot the water tower, the water shoots out type affairs. Barrels that respawn, health. Yeah, so it's got a lot of like setup for a game that would be at least first person perspective. Yeah, we're getting some very strange Strange behavior in that game, which I haven't seen before, but we can look at that in a minute. Is it doing the same thing again? Are we back to fine now? I don't know. Yeah, so that's a good one to look at, FPS example. And that's multiplayer, obviously. And then we can go back and hit this again. And then ObbyKit is one that we've been updating really recently. So if you want to build anything that looks like an obstacle course, here it is. So all of these bits and pieces are kind of pre-made. And you can see an example of it all in use. This is kind of like a construction zone of all of these pieces. And again, everything here is built using the tools that I was showing earlier. So if I click this thing, you can look at its components. It's got DBB moving platform as a script on it. And in here, we can inspect the code. It's pretty simple for this one. Yeah, so there's no kind of mystery about how any of this stuff works. And so if you want to extend any of these things to add more functionality, you can. So just a good starting point for a third-person game, basically. Third-person game with damage. So let's go and try out the example. I built a short example obby here. Check it out, then delete it or modify it into something new. Okay. How difficult is it, though? I don't want it to be too difficult. By default, the character will parent to things. So you get this nice behavior. 25% done. Okay, well, it can't be that difficult then. Let's try this. Oop. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's pushing me backwards and the blades go left to right. Okay. Easy mode. Okay, onto this platform. Hard or easy? What should we go for? Hard or easy? Hard, easy. Hard mode, obviously. Let's do it. Whoop. Okay. It's not that hard. I shouldn't say that until I've finished it, should I? Here we go. What is that going to blow up? No, is that a hat? What do we think? Is it a bomb or a hat? I think it's a hat. Okay, let's try. Oh, it's a hat. Lucky. Okay, same kind of trampoline that we were showing before. And then we're at the end. What's going to happen? Boom. It's fireworks time. Yeah, so you can change the sky and fog color in the mood settings. I was doing that earlier just to get a better view of the clouds, but we can kind of show you that officially. So we can hit here. We can either pick from some defaults up here. What's this one called? Do these have names? This is called Essex. Gray. Sonic blue skies. Moody purple. Crazy green. Killer red. And then you can affect everything in here. So if you want to change it to be more bloomy, we didn't. There's a thing we have coming for bloom that makes it much more useful, where you can limit the brightnesses that are getting bloomed, like a cap. ObbyKit, yeah. So yeah, let's just change some of these around. We can change all of these can change real time, right? So sky color. Why is it not changing? Oh, because we're not looking up. Simple. We'll change the fog color to match. It's like this or something. I told you earlier that I ain't a colors person. But look, that was it there. We found it. Whoa. Yeah, that's it, perfect. And then you can change the sunlight color and angle. All of this stuff is real time, and you can also affect all of that stuff in script. So you can create like a day-night cycle really easily, type of thing. What does the finish do? Does it take us back to the start? It doesn't. It takes us to the settings. Well, that's cool. Customize OB behavior. So yeah, there's the kind of player speed, all of the stuff that you would want to change on the character is in here, in these settings, in the obby kit. So I can change my player speed. I can change the gravity. Let's make it low gravity. Whoa. It's like I'm in space. Jump speed. Let's make it higher. Let's make it even higher. I think the gravity is killing us. That's the problem. That's better. Can I just change this to some crazy value? Whoa. That would make it much easier. Yeah, so you can use any of these starting kits, build something, share it, just to get you started if you have an idea, with versus having to just start from scratch. And I think that can be a really great way to get started, do something fun for a global game jam. Right, we're jumping back out. We'll come back to build games. We've also got this combat kit. I think if you want to build like a roguelike or something, or roguelite, that type of thing, this is like a really fun way to get started. So it's got health. You can do a little bit of choppy chop chop with this bat. This bat seems like it's incredibly powerful compared to for a starting bat. So this is kind of built of little areas, and then you can like grab. There's potions. It's got this UI here that's really nice. I'll just run through it really quickly. There's a little store that you can use to buy stuff. I don't have any coins yet. There's a whole bunch of enemies. And then at some point there's a little boss battle. Here it is. Whoa. And a chest. Can I just open the chest? No. Got to beat the boss to open the chest. So yeah, that's another nice little starting example. And again, all of the code, all of the objects for everything here are editable. So if you want to see exactly how something's built, you can just go and click on it and do that. I want to see that thing earlier, the head that had the blood coming out of the eyes. I'm going to pause the game so that people don't keep shooting me. And let's go and look at this. Is its blood separate? That's gruesome. Yeah, the blood's separate. I think they're doing that to try and make the whole thing smaller. But that's made by Heather Control Z. I'm going to like it. And like I was saying earlier, you can remix any of these things and go and make your own versions. Okay, well, that's just about an hour for me. Today we've looked at .Big Bang, which is a platform that lets you make and play games with your friends in a web browser. We have looked at how you can write TypeScript code, how you can build games really quickly, multiplayer, test them out multiplayer really quickly. And yeah, I think it's a good platform for really quickly prototyping stuff and seeing what's out there, seeing the objects other people have made and just kind of kit bashing stuff together, making things quickly for a game jam, give you a leg up rather than starting from scratch. People typing in the multiplayer codes in this game. Let's see. This is not really meant to be a multiplayer game, but I suppose it could be. I made this in 20 minutes after I saw a game on Steam. I can't remember what the game was called, but I did put it in the description so people could read it. Oh yeah, it's a game called Nothing by Pixelato. But yeah, I don't think that other people get killed. I didn't really think about the multiplayer part of it. So they can all run around, but I have to do nothing. Yeah, so that's about it. Thanks everybody for coming. And we've got a few more streams this week where we'll maybe do a deep dive on something or other, depending on what people are into. And apart from that, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Julia Plays. Thanks Quirt6589. And we'll see you next time. And what better way to finish than to explode? Okay, thanks. See ya.